Guys, it's me again, your boy Chugs, back at it again with another story for ya. This one's about my time at Job Corps, so sit back, relax, and let me tell you this batshit crazy experience. So to begin with, Job Corps is a free residential career and training and education program for young people ages 16 to 24 ran by the U.S. Department of Labor. So basically, it's supposed to help you prepare for the future, and I was really struggling to find a sense of purpose at the time, so I thought, why not? But before we get into the nitty gritty, I want to talk about the good stuff first. It wasn't all bad. I met some amazing people while I was out there. That's how I met one of my best friends, this dude named Richard, who is also my accomplice from my escape from there. More on that here in a sec. But yeah, I met him and two others, my buddy Quentin and my homeboy Dalton. We would raise so much hell while I was there, it wasn't even funny. The location was beautiful. We were deep in the Kentucky woods. It had an amazing trail. We saw all sorts of wildlife. We would also get paid every 2 weeks. It was good until it wasn't. A month goes by, and everyone noticed the rules and regulations started getting stricter and stricter by the day. Just as a side note, we were each assigned a dormitory, which they called bays, kind of like the sorting hat from Harry Potter. We were kind of assigned at random. And also, every day we were given a score based on how clean everything was. We would have like this chore list to do every morning. They call it a GI, or General Inspection. And everyone in my bay did our damnedest to make sure everything was clean and looking right. And they would score us so unfairly, they would mark us down for even the stuff we couldn't even fucking help, man. Like, I'm talking scratches on the door, and on the windows too, that were like there long before any of us even stepped foot in that place. They would also get us on the bathroom mirrors because the paper towels we were told to use to clean the mirrors left a film on the glass. Like, we were told to use the paper towels. But not everybody in our bay was innocent either. I mean, we had people in there with us that would leave fucking ramen noodles in the water fountain. Like, why on God's green earth would you not only drain your water in the water fountain, but you would also just dump it in there and let the noodles just sit there for weeks on end? I mean, I swear to God, every time I took a drink from that fountain, I smelled and tasted ramen noodles. Enough on that though, let's get into trades a bit. There were like 5 trades you can choose from. There was welding, carpentry, office administration, forestry, and even computer technology. Well, for me, I chose computer technology because back in high school I managed to get like ITF certified, and it was like a CompTIA RAM program, so I thought it was a good idea. I thought I could go straight for my A plus. That would have been so cool, but at that point, but when I finally got in the trade, the teacher wouldn't really teach us for shit. And we kind of just sat there and read the CompTIA books, which is fine, but I thought there would be more of a hands-on approach. Man, I was really disappointed. One day I got fed the fuck up and asked my friend next to me if he understood any of it, and he said not really. But I could tell that he really wanted to understand it, so I tried to teach him to the best of my knowledge, and I ended up being scolded by the teacher because she thought I was distracting him. I mean, I tried to explain myself, and then she started screaming out of nowhere, "He doesn't need your help. If he has any questions, he can just ask me." Even though she never really made that clear to begin with. Besides, you're supposed to be a friggin' teacher. We shouldn't have to ask you to teach, but you're more preoccupied with the friggin' fire assignment kids because you gave more of a shit about them than us. Moving on. Who in the hell in the government decided to throw teenage kids in with full-grown adults? You deserve to be friggin' fired, dude. There was underage relationships everywhere, and it was bad. But seriously, there was this girl there that was like 16, 17, and selling her body to other students. And 20-year-old guys, I would literally watch them. They would pay her. I see this go on, and I'm like, so when is Chris Hansen gonna show up and tell these punks to like have a seat? Like, come on, it's fucking disgusting. And on top of that shit, we had gang stuff. Like, there would be fights like nobody's business. We had this one dude, I swear to God, he looked like exactly like if Biggie Cheese from Back in the Barnyard had a baby with Big Smoke from Grand Theft Auto. That would be this dude, man. Just imagine it. Anyways, he would run his mouth to everyone. And if anyone ever talked back, he would threaten to beat the shit out of them in the bathroom. Like, literally, he'd be like, meet me in the bathroom, cuh. Come fight me in the bathroom, cuh. I swear to God, meet me in the bathroom, man. Like, it was ridiculous. I'm from Memphis, man. We don't do that shit in Memphis. I'll fuck you up. But yeah, they literally let anyone in this program. I also had this roommate who was 18 years old, and they didn't like check him for anything, but we're pretty sure he had schizophrenia. He would say all sorts of like demented shit. Like he said he would peg the staff, he would make inappropriate comments to female students, telling them to bend over. Like, what the fuck? Who does that? He's like, I like your tits. Bend over. Let me. Yeah, it was weird. Anyways, he even called one of my friends the N word. I have to say, I condone that shit. Like, racism is not cool. Especially the fact that my friend was actually black. They both ended up being sent home because my friend ended up smacking the absolute fuck out of him. Like, it sounded like a iPhone screenshot. Like, that's how hard he smacked this kid. Oh, and there was this other girl who was a friend of mine. She was in crutches. She ended up hurting herself in the weight room, hence the crutches. Anyways, one night we had a Valentine's Day dance. She was forced to go by staff because she's one of those girls who rarely leaves the dorm, you know? And during the dance, a fight broke out, and this dude ended up flying into her. And in a rage, he got back up, punched her, and gave her a fucking black eye. Like, how messed up is that? Okay, switching gears, we're gonna talk about the Job Corps Underground Market. That's right, our center had one of those. So, Job Corps had this rule that you can't vape, but you could, like, smoke cigarettes and shit, but you're not allowed to have. But when you're not allowed to have something, all of a sudden, there's, like, a market for it, and people would use their weekend pass, and weekend pass is when any student can go off campus during the week. Each student gets like two a month. I never got to use mine before I left, but some of the students would go out and stock up on vapes, dab carts, shit teenagers aren't supposed to have, And those who were 21 and older, they would charge these kids like $1 per hit. How insane is that? And if the kids wanted to vape for themselves to like hide in the room, like maybe under their bed or something, they would charge them like $50 because of how risky it was. You see, if you get caught with a vape, you kind of got kicked out automatically, and you would have to wait a year before you could come back. And you're probably thinking, how would they pay for these forbidden goods, you ask? Well, in order to survive Job Corps, Cash App is going to be your best friend. Like, I shit you not. Like, that is the go-to thing. That is the currency there, if you will. This goes without saying. I condone these actions. I'm not proud of this, but I also had my own underground shop. I would wait until the canteen closes. The canteen is like the official Job Corps store where you can buy like snacks and shit. Like they would sell Twix bars, they would sell candy, ice cream, like snacks and shit. But when I went to Walmart, I would go and buy every little Debbie snack cake imaginable using my food stamp card. I know how horrible that sounds, and I would flip them individually for $1 each. Like I easily made over $300 doing that for 3 months, and that's how I was able to get things I actually needed. Because let's be honest, Job Corps didn't really pay that well, anyways. But yeah, let's talk about Job Corps relationships. If you're in Job Corps and you want to meet and date someone there, I got one word for you, my friend. Don't. Let me tell you why. I dated this girl while I was there. I know it was kind of dumb. But she ended up homie hopping like crazy. I didn't know this while dating her, but she went from my boy Richard, then to me, then to this other guy. And for the sake of this really long story, I'm gonna call him Xanax because I swear to God he seemed off, like he was kind of on something. He had bright purple hair, kind of looked like Barney the Purple Dinosaur up in this bitch. I love you, you love me, ugly ass. Anyways, not even a day before this girl breaks up with me, he was flirting with her right in front of me. and he lied to my face about it, and I believed his purple doodle bop looking ass. One last thing before I talk about how me and Richard escaped this hellhole. Education. That's right. In order to be in full trade, you had to take like a TABE test to be able to pass, and you had to be able to pass in reading and math in order to TABE out and be able to go into full trade. Anyways, me and Richard had the same problem there I would have in trade. The teacher would not teach for shit, guys. She would just be on her computer, and we would also be on the computer. I don't know about y'all, but I'm kind of old school in that way. I kind of like when the teacher actually gets up and teaches the subject matter, but maybe that's just me. Maybe I'm kind of wild for that, but anyway, finally, I get to tell you how we escaped. We ended up resigning in March. We had to get like signatures from all the staff, including the center director and the lunch ladies, and it just got so involved trying to get the fuck out of there. Like we even had this thing where me and Richard would walk around the hallways and we would make this little sound. We would go, doot, every time, every time we got fed up or annoyed. We would just annoy the shit out of every staff member trying to get signatures. Like, can we have your autograph, please? Because we couldn't take this shit no more. And Richard ended up getting a hold of his folks, and I was kind of not able to go anywhere at the time, so I ended up asking him if I could go back with him to Missouri, where he came from, and he got his folks on the horn, and they surprisingly said yes for some reason, even though I was a complete fucking stranger at the time. But a week later, his uncle picked us up in his truck, and he literally peeled out of there like skirt. It was badass, and I'm thankful for Richard and his family to this day. Thanks for listening. I know this is kind of a bit of a long one, but if you like this, please subscribe and click the bell to be notified of more uploads. I try to upload stories every Tuesday so I can keep a consistent schedule. And don't forget to leave a like as well, and thanks for watching.